CNN News 18 exclusive. Former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, is now demanding an inquiry against the ex-army chief, General Bajwa. CNN News 18 has accessed Imran Khan's letter to the president, where the former Prime Minister Imran Khan has now written to the president to inquire against the ex-army chief, General Bajwa. Let's also now bring in our colleague Anand, who in fact is joining us from our newsroom. Anand, when Imran Khan writes this letter to the president, he speaks about certain violations as far as the oath of General Bajwa is concerned. What are these specific violations that have been pointed out?
Not just the oath of General Bajwa, he's also highlighted how the army is meddling in civilian affairs or democratic affairs and also controlling constitutional outfits. And how is it that an army person can decide whether or not it's the time for a prime minister to go or a government to go or not? Now, this is what he is highlighting to the supreme commander of the armed forces, that is the President Arif Alvi himself. Now, this is what is said. It's on the letterhead of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, says Central Secretariat, and it's addressed to Dr. Arif Alvi, President, Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and of course the location is Islamabad. Now, he's saying some very disturbing information has now come into public domain, whereby it is clear that General Bajwa, as Chief of Army Staff, violated his oath of office repeatedly. In view of these violations identified below, I request you as Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces to institute an immediate inquiry against him. So, as General Bajwa takes oath of the as Chief of Army Staff, there are certain conditions that outline his responsibilities, and he says he's admitted to journalist Javed that and it would be critical to ascertain from him who was the we, in reference to, and he said, considered Imran Khan dangerous to the country if he continued to stay in power. The question arises, who gave him the power to decide that that elected Prime Minister was supposedly a danger to the country if he continued to stay in power? Only people through elections can decide who they want to elect as PM. Taking such a right on himself is a clear violation of his oath as given in the third schedule of Article 244 of the Pakistan Constitution. Then he goes on to say, regardless of the merits of his claims in this case, he has also admitted that he managed to get the NAB case, National Accountability Bureau case against Shaukat Tareen, dismissed, revealing that NAB was under his control. Again, a clear violation of constitutional oath, because the army itself is a department under the Ministry of Defence, and civilian official autonomous institutions do not and are not supposed to come under military control. Then he says, according to a vlog of a Pakistani journalist, Aftab Iqbal, General Bajwa told him in conversation that he had tapes of the then Pak Prime Minister Imran Khan's conversation with him. This is a serious violation again of his oath and violation of fundamental human rights. The question is, why, under what authorization was General Bajwa recording confidential conversations? So this is one part of this letter, and then there is the back part. The other part, the second page says, another serious violation of his oath was committed when General Bajwa publicly went against the then government's policy of maintaining neutrality in Russia-Ukraine war. He did this at an international conference in Islamabad on 2nd April 2022, the Islamabad Security Conference. I would like to point out that the government policy was arrived at after developing a consensus of all stakeholders, including MOFA, that's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and retired diplomats who had relevant experience and were area specialists. Then he says, I would also point out, Chapter 2 of the Constitution describes the mandate of the armed forces and specifically refers to Articles 243 and 244. Therefore, it is your constitutional duty as President and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces to take immediate action and institute an inquiry so as to establish whether such grave violations of the Constitution and oath of office under the Constitution have taken place. So this is signed by Imran Khan, Chairman PTI. So these are the allegations that he has made against the former Chief of Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, against whom he's opened up cudgels. He's just opened up a front, and he's gone ahead and even accused Bajwa of not only dethroning him, but he's also said he's out to get me. Assassination plot being hatched by Bajwa. That's the level to which he's gone after Qamar Javed Bajwa, but now he's citing instances and Qamar Javed Bajwa's utterances himself. Mind you, Imran Khan is also on record now saying that to give Qamar Javed Bajwa an extension was a mistake. So Imran Khan played along with Bajwa till it was convenient, then they two fell out, and now both are out to get each other. That's also the larger discourse or the macro view, if you were to see. Qamar Javed Bajwa has had allegations in Pakistani media itself of not only looting the exchequer, but also helping himself and his entire family and the distant family to huge amounts of riches because he misused his position as Chief of Army Staff. So multiple questions and multiple fingers pointing at Qamar Javed Bajwa, but this is a formal letter that now Imran Khan has written to the President.
Anand, before we talk about the kind of attacks that we've seen in the past and before we bring in Pratikrit also in the conversation, Anand, quickly, I just want to understand for the benefit of our viewers that when Imran Khan writes a letter like this to the president asking for an investigation or a probe, what is the usual protocol in a case like this?
Well, point is that the president, now it's up to the president to see if he will take cognizance. The president's office will have to verify this. And president is the supreme commander of the armed forces. Now, will he also get a response from Qamar Javed Bajwa? Now, what Imran Khan has done is he has quoted Qamar Javed Bajwa from the interviews he's given to Pakistani media, journalists and vloggers. So, if that's the case, then it is Bajwa's utterances itself that come into scrutiny. And the big question is we. Who is the we who decided that Imran Khan was a danger to the country? And on what basis? Now, these are questions which are legitimate grounds for the president to ask. But will the president ask these questions? Because there is a lot of water that's flown under the bridge and there is an imminent arrest of Imran Khan himself. So can you actually lean upon somebody's allegations who himself is now stands in contempt of court and is perhaps waiting to get arrested at any point in time?
Okay. Anand, we'll just request you to stay on with us. Let's